Hi, my name's Alaric Moore, and this is my vlog. Making a video vlog. Hear me vlog. Vlog. Anyhow, a friend of mine sent me a webcam, and he told me that the things that I think about and say are worth being spread around, and I guess I'm gonna say them and put them on the internet. Today, what I would like to speak about is loneliness, and my own experience with loneliness, and what I think that means in the 21st century. So, ever since I was very little, you know, high-pitched voice, shorter, less cigarettes, less cussing, I always had this pervading sense of solitude, as if I were in solitary confinement. I felt as if nobody liked me, that I was the least popular kid, I was ugly, I was awkward, I was weird, all of those things. I felt no sense of community, no sense of family, no sense of friendship. This is a thing that has always been present with me in my life. It wasn't until I became sexually active in my teens, my mid to late teens, that I discovered that I am attractive and that people enjoy my company. They still think I'm weird, and they always will be, but they liked me. But I still felt alone. Now, in my early 20s, I find myself still feeling that same sense of loneliness, and I'm witnessing through social media that everybody else does too. I recently downloaded Secret, and I see on Secret, on this app that I'm reading, first off, all of my friends are incredibly vanilla, and you're boring. Second off, you all feel lonely. We all feel lonely. Why do we feel lonely? I see you all the time. We're going out, we're getting drinks, we're talking, we're communicating, we're doing things, we're interacting in a multitude of ways. Why are we alone? We aren't alone. We feel like we lack authenticity in our interactions. I definitely do. I find myself constantly trying to find more authentic ways in which to interact. I constantly find myself uncensoring my language when in person, so that people can see more into my life and into my psychology than they would prior to my uncensoring, that censored version of my persona that I'm expressing, and a way to promote my sense of individuality so that I can match and mix with the best of them. Particularly in a city like San Francisco, where every dog is on his own and every dog's the best, and no bones are for sharing, they're all yours. Where we are constantly trying to raise money for our next project from the people with the deep pockets, and we have to be able to make sure that they can pay attention to us, either for our attraction or our smarts or for our ideas, for our extroversion. Right? These are all problems. And now this is common here in San Francisco, but it's also common all over. Right? And we say in our articles and in our writing that it is like the Facebook and the Twitter and the Instagram and the Pinterest and the Foursquare and the whatever it is, that we're making ourselves feel lonely because we're trying to replace actual interaction with digital interaction. I say this is not true. Purely anecdotally, based on the fact that I have felt this pervading sense of solitude my entire life. I haven't been on Facebook my entire life. According to my Facebook, I've only been on Facebook since about 2007. That's not my whole life. Now, that is a specific, it's kind of a large chunk of my adult life, right? Because I'm just now becoming an adult. But that's not my whole life. And how could something that hasn't been around my whole life be causing something that I've been experiencing my entire lifetime? I propose, hear me out here, that we've always felt lonely. The human beings, for time immemorial, have had a sense of loneliness. And that it is now that we have these platforms for communicating our feelings about solitude that we're noticing it. Because previously, it was a shameful thing to express loneliness and depression. But in recent years, we've made great waves in expressing to one another our feelings, using platforms and using the internet as almost a defense, right? Now that things are changing and more people are on these social networks, and as the early adopters, the young people from a decade ago, are getting older and realizing the value in saving their public face, we find that we're also hindering our interaction there. We don't want to associate our original, authentic expression with our face and name because we don't want everybody to see that we're not all that happy. And we don't know who to ask for help. We've cut mental health in this country to the point where it is a quadriplegic sitting in the gutter addicted to crack, and it is asking for 50 cents, but every single person walking by is deaf. That is where we're at. That's why we're having these feelings and we're reaching out to each other, but we don't know what to do. We have no concepts of what it means to heal. Whenever we're not even sure if we were broken in the first place, and we don't even know what broke us. This might just be the human condition, guys. This just might be the way things are and how they will be. And we're just finding tools for expressing that on a larger platform, because everybody is an author, everyone is a filmmaker, everyone is a website designer and starlet and celebrity in their own little universe, in their own corner of the internet. How many people do you know actually watch television? Now, how many people do you know read Facebook? We're our own celebrity, right? We are creating a world where we can feel the same pressures that only the famous used to in the past, right? We're turning ourselves into marketing platforms. My name, Alaric Moore, is no longer the name that only those who met me know, but it is becoming a name that people in other households that I've never been in could be discussing. Now, they're not discussing me, not the real me, not the me that I know, or the me that my dearest friends know. No, they're discussing the creature that they meet, the character that they meet through their screens, whether that be on their phone, their television, or their computer. That is the me I've created for you to look at and to express and to experience and to discuss even. This causes me to feel lonely, because then when I meet these people who've only interacted with me or witnessed me through my expression of persona, the character that I want you to know, then I feel like I have to censor the real me in order to live up to those expectations that I have set. This is not a fault of the technology. The technology, as Kranzberg's law says, is neither good nor is it bad nor is it neutral. But nothing happens in a vacuum, and I am the reason why I'm lonely. You are the reason you are lonely. It is not Facebook's fault. If used appropriately, we can make these technologies bring us together closer if we stop censoring ourselves. Censorship of the self is one of the worst things you can do when looking for authentic interaction. If you're censoring yourself and you're saying, for instance, say you're fucking racist and you're going to say some crazy racist shit, do it, please. First off, I want to know if you're crazy and racist, because I might not want to hang out with you. Second off, maybe I can change your mind and we can discuss this and be like, you know what, man? Black people aren't that scary. Turns out. It's true. So, don't censor yourself. And then you'll find more people who actually agree with you and actually have your opinions that you can actually get along with. And maybe because of that, you'll feel less lonely. Oh, and go outside sometimes. That helps, I hear. From some people. Anyway, I think that's what I think about that, and I think I'm done. Alright, see ya.
What's going on, everybody? Let's talk about loneliness. Loneliness is a motherfucker. Loneliness will cause you to be with somebody that you don't want to be with just because you're trying to fill that void that you're missing. Loneliness will cause you to do things with people that you really don't want to be around. It'll cause you to get into relationships that you really do not want because you're trying to fill that void in your life that you desire. We all been there, people. I have, you have. At some point in time, we all have been there. And shit, loneliness is a motherfucker. Don't let loneliness put you in a situation that you don't want to be in. Because believe me, it will. Don't let loneliness drive you back into the arms of somebody that you don't want to be with. And that's a quote that I heard right there from somebody else. I don't even know who said it, but it's a damn good quote because it's true. Loneliness will cause you to go back to an ex. It will cause you to go back to a lover that you can't stand. But the only reason you'll go back to that person is because you're comfortable with that person. You're not happy with that person, but you're used to being around that person. And that person knows everything about you, so you can relax around that person. You can do things, say things, you can dress, shit, fart, whatever you want to do around that person because that person has known you for years. And that's the only reason that you'll go back to that person that you don't want to be with. Loneliness is a bitch, people. It really is. I hear a lot of women say, I'm happy being single. No, the fuck you not. Stop lying to yourself. You're not happy being single. You're happy with not having to deal with bullshit. You're happy with not having to stress out worrying if this nigga cheating on you. You're happy with not worrying about what's going to happen next. You're happy with not getting your heart broken. That's what you're happy with. You're not happy being alone. Not even pets want to be alone. Shit, look at this. You get a fish. You get a fish tank. You don't put one fish in the damn fish tank. The fish need company. Basically, what I'm telling you people is don't nobody want to be alone. Especially not me. And I can be the first one to admit that. I hate being alone. It has been so many times where I have jumped into relationships with people that I wasn't even interested in because I didn't want to be alone. Now, I learned a very valuable lesson, and I would rather be alone than to be with somebody I'm not happy with. I would rather be alone than to sit there and lie to myself and say that I am happy or I am satisfied when I'm not. Loneliness is a motherfucker. But don't let loneliness make you make a decision that you truly don't want to. And that's it for the night. Y'all have a nice night. Once again, it's your boy Chicago's very own J Hustle. And that's it. Good night, people.